Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rebecca and on this channel I go through all things accounting, finance, investment and ACCA related. So if you do like this kind of stuff, please do consider subscribing, and otherwise let's go straight into the video. So today's video is going to be focused on double entry bookkeeping and in particular on depreciation. So I'm just going to run through you very quickly what depreciation is and why it matters in business. So when a business buys an asset, they're going to be using the asset over a certain amount of years, and over that time there's going to be wear and tear associated with the asset, and the way that we account for that is through depreciation. So if I was to look at a business who's just purchased an asset with cash today, my double entry is going to be debit an asset on the balance sheet or the statement of financial position, and then I'm going to credit cash because that cash is going out of my business. So I'm reducing the amount of cash that I've got left in my business. Now imagine if that asset was worth £100,000 and that's currently sat on my statement of financial position at £100,000. In 4 years' time, it's not going to be worth £100,000 because it might have had wear and tear of some kind. So when I go to sell that, nobody's going to buy that from me at the £100,000 that purchased it at originally. So instead, that asset's going to have a carrying value, so a net book value of lower than £100,000. So if you imagine that that asset is only going to be worth £20,000 in 4 years' time, so we're only going to be able to sell it for £20,000. In other words, its residual value is only £20,000. Then that means that between the time that we purchase the asset and when we sell it, there must have been depreciation in between to account for that diminishing value. So if we looked at depreciation on a straight line basis, what we know is that it cost us £100,000 originally, residual value is £20,000 in 4 years' time. So we're going to sell the asset in 4 years' time. So we therefore need to depreciate over its useful life, which is 4 years. Now the way that we do that with straight line depreciation is we take the cost, so the £100,000, less what we know we're going to sell it for, so minus this £20,000, which then leaves us with £80,000. Now we know that we're going to depreciate that over 4 years, so imagine that this is 4 entire years, so 48 entire months. That means that if I take that £80,000 and divide that by 4, then that's going to give me depreciation of £20,000 per year. Now in terms of the actual accounting entries for that depreciation, it's really simple. So we're just going to debit depreciation in a statement of profit and loss, otherwise known as the income statement, and we're going to credit accumulated depreciation on the balance sheet or statement of financial position. Now the reason why we're doing that is because we're reducing the net book value of that asset that's sat on the statement of financial position. So by the end of year 1, we'll have had the £100,000 of cost less £20,000 of depreciation. Now one thing that students get confused with, or they don't really understand, is that once that asset hits the residual value that you expect to sell at, you're not going to continue depreciating that asset any further. And also, if you've got an asset that doesn't have any residual value at all, but it's now got a nil net book value, you again are not going to continue to depreciate that asset because you don't want to be left with a negative net book value of an asset. That doesn't make any sense. Now, we also have another type of depreciation method that we can use instead of the straight line method, and that's known as the diminishing value or reducing balance method. And what we do there is we take the cost in year 1, so the £100,000, and then at the end of year 1, we're going to have a net book value of the £80,000. So again, the £100,000 minus the £20,000 to get you to £80,000. Now with this type of depreciation, what we're going to do is instead of taking the cost minus the residual value and dividing that by the 4 years, we're actually going to take this £80,000. So if we know that the diminishing value or reducing balance method percentage is 20%, then what we're going to do is take £80,000 and then times that by 20%. So our depreciation in year 2 is actually only going to be £16,000. And you're going to be left with a net book value of £64,000 in comparison to a net book value of £60,000 at the end of year 2 with straight line. So every year you're going to be taking the net book value that you've been left with at the start of the year and multiplying that by the depreciation percentage, and then that will give you the depreciation. And again, in terms of accounting for depreciation, all we do is we debit depreciation and credit accumulated depreciation. Now one thing that you want to be aware of when you're studying depreciation as a whole is that in your exam you might not be asked to calculate depreciation for an entire year. So they might have purchased an asset halfway through the year or 2 months before the year end. So if you were to buy it halfway through the year, you're only going to apply 6 months of depreciation in that year. If you bought it 2 months before the year end, you're only going to have 2 months of depreciation in that year. And even there might be occasions where they ask you to calculate that by day. So if you've only bought it halfway through the year, then you're only going to have July, August, September, October, November and December in those day calculations, as opposed to 365 days. Now if you were to look for furniture and fittings or PPE on the balance sheet or statement of financial position, then you'd find them under non-current assets if they are to be held for more than 12 months. So non-current means that it's been held for more than 12 months, whereas a current asset is something that you expect to receive within 12 months. That's why you see the likes of prepayments and other debtors usually within less than 12 months, depending on what it is. Now, if you're currently working as an accountant, you might have seen something known as Ebitda, and that is slightly related to depreciation. So that just means when you're looking at the bottom line, when you're looking at profit, it's the line where you're looking at the earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation and amortization. So I'll cover amortization in a different video, which I'll leave the link to just up here. But amortization is on intangible assets. So we're talking about tangible assets at the moment. So tangible assets are those that you can physically touch, like PPE, like buildings, that sort of thing. Whereas intangibles are the likes of customer listings or goodwill, for example. Now, something else that you might come across in your studies is just a disposal of an asset. So if you've got a disposal of an asset in your accounts or your financial statements, you're going to have to write the cost of that asset off the statement of financial position, and you're going to have to write back the accumulated depreciation. And all we mean by that is where your initial entries to record the asset were to debit the cost of the asset and credit cash or bank or whatever it might have been, depending on how that asset was purchased. When we're going to take those off the statement of financial position, we're actually going to credit the cost nominal of that asset, and then we would debit accumulated depreciation to date to get rid of that accumulated depreciation regarding that asset, and then we'd have an account for disposals of assets where we work out if there's been a loss or a gain on disposal, because sometimes you might have the likes of part exchanges, or you might have sold the asset privately and got more for it than what you had expected, or even less where you'd have a loss. So again, I'll cover that in a different video. However, hope you found this video useful. Again, please do consider subscribing as always, and I shall see you on the next video.